One of the legends of Notre Dame, Mr. Joe Theismann. And Joe, going back when in '68, when you recruited by Ara Parseghian and Notre Dame football, you had a meeting with Roger Valdesari because your real name was Theismann. You were from New Jersey. In that meeting, something came out where your name was changed by Roger Valdesari from Theismann to Theismann. Can you get into that detail, please?
Sure, Digger, and it's great to be with you guys. Thank you. It's in early '68 before we got started. Actually, it was in '68 that I think Roger was standing at spring practice one day, and someone from a Chicago newspaper just walked up to him watching us practice, and he said, hey, is that Theismann like in Heisman? And Roger sort of put it away, and then the beginning of my senior year, he called me in the office, and he said, Joe, how do you pronounce your last name? I said, it's Theismann. He said, no, it's not. It's Theismann. I said, no, it's not. It's Theismann. He said, no, really, it's Theismann. I said, well, give me the phone. So I pick up the phone. I call my dad back home. And I get my dad on the phone. I said, hey, Pop, I got a question for you. He said, hey, fire away, Joe. I said, Dad, tell me, how do you pronounce our last name? And there's like this pregnant pause on the phone. And my dad goes, are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm fine. But tell me how you pronounce our last name. I'll explain it later. So he said it was Theismann. I hung the phone up. I turned to Roger. I said, Raj, look, I've just confirmed the fact my last name is Theismann with my father. So it's Theismann. He said, Joe, I want to tell you something. There's a trophy out there called the Heisman Trophy. Goes to the best college football player in the country. We think you have a chance to win that trophy, but we're not just going to count on your athletic ability. Heck no. He said, we're not even going to count on the reputation of the University of Notre Dame, but we think by just simply changing the pronunciation of your last name from Theismann to Theismann to rhyme with Heisman, we can get you that trophy. And that's how I became Joe Theismann. And it was funny, about 5 years after that, I was having dinner with my mom and dad, and we were talking about a lot of things. And I turned to my dad over the dinner table. He said, Pop, I got a question for you. He said, fire away, Joe. I said, Dad, tell me, how do you pronounce our last name? He said, it's Theismann. Why do you ask? Roger changed the entire family.
You changed this community around here, my man.
Well, I'll tell you, it was, I think we can look back at different aspects and stages of our life. And for me, the University of Notre Dame, as I get older now, I look back at those years in '67 to '70 when I was at the university and graduating in '71. And just how valuable that time was to me, socially, socioeconomically, physiologically, psychologically. I mean, growing up, one of my roommates, we'd wander over to the Steppen Center and go to a concert. And one night, I think the first concert I ever went to was Neil Diamond. And we were coming back, and it's funny, I don't know why I remember this, but we were coming back, and Steve had a little too much libation, and he decided that he was going to try and tackle a Mack truck in the middle of the road. And I managed to talk him off the road as the truck went by, and I think of a life saved in that instance. But the relationships that we had, the opportunity to play for Ara Parseghian, the friendships that you made, even to this day, I see so many friends. I just saw Tommy Gatewood not too long ago, who I hadn't seen in a number of years, and I still think of Billy Bars and all those guys that I had a chance to be very, very lucky to be part of a football team with.
Joe, you've seen a lot of football in your day. You even returned punts, did so many different things. You get a chance to watch this Notre Dame football team as they are now. They're getting a lot of people back, a lot of people healthy, 2 quarterbacks. Your thoughts on the decision of what to do with the quarterbacks this year? Do you go ahead and play them like they did in the LSU bowl game, where you say, hey, let's take the best of both of them here, or do you need to pick a starter?
Well, I think, Chris, if you take a look at what Brian's history has been with Tommy Rees and Everett, going back 4 years now almost, Tommy came in the year that Notre Dame went to the national championship game a few years ago against Alabama. Tommy really came in relief in about, I think, 3 football games and performed very well. What we saw against LSU was a combination of 2 extremely talented young men. One hadn't had much experience, another one that had experience but was really coming back after a year being gone. And I told Everett this. I was out a couple weeks ago before the spring game, and I had a chance to visit. I said, I'm very proud of you. A lot of people would have become spiteful, prideful, and said, look, and they would have blamed it on the university. But you were a very accountable young man. You know what you did, and you came back to the University of Notre Dame. And I think, to me, that speaks very highly of him as a person. Malik is he's got the biggest legs I've ever seen other than when I wander through the forest. It's the only time you see legs about as big as Malik's. I mean, he's just an incredible athlete. But Chris, to answer your question, I really think that Brian will probably utilize the skills and talents of both. College football today is different. You cover the pros, and I love listening to you. And the thing to me is I think you have to do what you feel like is going to give your team the best chance to win. I think if one of them goes on a tear and plays well, I don't think Brian will make switches. But as long as he has the availability of Malik and Everett, I see him possibly being in a role where they're going to be able to switch. Now, one of the guys may just rise to the top. I know Malik has basically said, hey, I want to be the guy. I know Everett's coming back because he wants to be the guy, which when you have two of them this talented, and you've got 9 starters coming back on offense, 10 on defense, and we go through what we went through last year, having some guys miss some time, you have to be really excited about what Notre Dame football is going to look like.
Hey, Joe, quickly, before we wrap this. 1925, Knute Rockne won against Stanford in the Rose Bowl to win a national championship. 1925. Notre Dame didn't go to a bowl again to 1970, where they lost to Texas.
Right.
But 1971, Texas had won 30 straight. You're the quarterback for error. You end that streak. We become 22, or number 2 in the country. Nebraska becomes number 1, but Texas falls off. That was the first win in 41 years in a bowl. What was that like, winning that game against Texas in that Cotton Bowl?
Well, I don't think many of us realized it had been that long since we had been to a bowl game. I knew we didn't go in a long time. I mean, some guys were talking, hey, it's been 50, 60 years. I'm thinking, are you taking any math classes or what? But it was great to have the opportunity to be able to compete in one. And we wanted to play Texas. We wanted the shot at the national championship. That was, Era had always talked to us about being the best. You go back in '66 when we won the championship, and then I went right after that. I went to college, and you look at the teams and where they were ranked when we were there. We were very good, and we wanted to compare ourselves against the best. And Era was wonderful. He gave us an opportunity to choose where we want to go. It wasn't like Coach walked in and said, "This is where we're going to go." Who do we want to play? We want to play Texas. They're the number 1 team in the country. We want a shot at the brass ring. And that whole experience was very different for us. Like at home games at Notre Dame, we stayed over at St. Joe and looked out our windows and listened to everybody having a good time, and we just sat in our little rooms over there getting ready to play. But it was something that was very unique for us, and it was great to be a part of the history of the university, to be able to go back after so many years and not just play in a bowl game, but to be able to win one.
Joe, thanks for your time. You're the best, and as you well know, we'll stay in touch. Chris and I want to thank you for doing this.